Hey, good afternoon. It's Mindy at Half Moon Home Decor and Design Studio here in Windham, Maine. We figured we would talk to you today about some products that we offer. Annie Sloan chalk paint products. We have a couple of drawers to a beautiful black, white, and gray dresser that we were thinking about putting a design on the side of the drawers here. So one of the products is going to be a stencil. And this is a Royal Design Studio stencil. She's also a stockist. And we carry her stencils, and what we like about them is that they're Mylar. So they're durable, we can tape them down, you can wash them. You know, with a little Cud Crutter or Knickerbocker, you can release the paint and they'll look as brand new and keep them back in the packaging. So you can stencil in different ways. You can stencil with stencil brushes, which is a flat brush. This one's an Annie Sloan stencil brush, a natural bristle. This is a Royal Design Studio brush, which is also a natural bristle. And depending on the size of your stencil pattern, depends on how big of a stencil brush you'll need. We're going to show you a couple different demonstrations on stenciling. Another product that we are interested in talking to you about today is Annie Sloan rollers. So those are them right there. Pretty cool. You could use these on painting your kitchen cabinets. We're going to try it on a stencil, which would really make your project go, you know, rather quickly. So this comes in a small and also comes in a large. So I'll leave that cover on. It doesn't want to come off. We carry the refills for them. They wash up with hot soapy water. We also carry the large Annie Sloan foam roller refills. So these are all located here at Half Moon Home Decor. You can come in. Good thing about these things, it's not a one and done. You can do your project, clean them up in the sink, hang them in your craft spot, and reuse them over and over and over again. You know, you and your mom, you and your sister, you can swap off and share your stencils, whatever you choose. So here's something that we haven't talked about. This is another stockist. This is a cover. It's a pouring cover. These are fantastic. They're for blending your paints. I'm kind of particular about my rim around the paint can. Don't like it to be messy. And by not keeping paint in your rim, your cover goes on back on strong, and there is no shelf life with chalk paint. So keeping the rim clean keeps the air out of it, keeps the rust from building, and you can, you know, use it for months to come. So with that being said, you can see how fairly clean it is. I take my cover. These are washable, reusable constantly, and we just plop it on. See that? Look at that. You can pick it right up by that. Pretty strong. So let me grab something. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Measuring utensils, dollar store find. Now I can keep control of how much paint I want to mix, whether it's mixing a color. If I'm, you know, wanting to do 2 parts Napoleonic to 1 part Paris gray. Using measuring cups, using your pourer keeps control. You can blend it in Tupperware, and your recipe's spot on all the time. And this keeps your paint from mixing into the room. So today with stenciling, we don't really need a lot. So I'm going to pour out 1/8 of a cup, maybe not even. Actually, I need to give it a whirl because I didn't shake it before. So we'll just give it a little swirl around because I could kind of see where the pigmentation had separated, and you don't want that. You want to make sure your paint is mixed well. And making sure that the consistency for water is key. So see how perfectly that pours out? Can you see that? And see how that's clean? And I'll even clean that up before I won't wash it down the drain, but that keeps us under control. So I'll put that over there. With that being said, we're gonna do one demo on this drawer. And using our Royal Design Studio stencil, it's a flower. You want to lay out your pattern. And it's okay if you're hanging off the edge If you want to center it off, if you like one section of it better, it's all up to what you like. There is no wrong way of doing it. Sometimes you can divide the distance between and have a little bit hanging off both sides. So I like to tape. Taping allows me to lift my hands up off of the stencil. I use painter's tape. I don't have to worry about it shifting. With that being said, see that? There's my pattern. Isn't that pretty? So you should always be able to read your numbers right here. Right, so that's on my drawers, and we're going to do them. We have a dresser we're doing all of those drawers with. But I'm going to shift over to the paper, and I'm going to show you a couple quick parts. These are parts of that stencil set that I am using. These are some little guys. I have some brown paper on my studio table. And obviously you always want to make sure that it's centered, it's where you want it to be. Here's another little guy. Isn't he cute? Isn't he cute? So I put the numbers going that way. I'll just put this one. I'm going to show you two different styles of stenciling is what I'm going to do. I like this tape because it releases nicely. You don't have to worry about it pulling your paint off, you know, your painted pieces. All right, so remember the paint that we poured in our 1/8 of a cup? I'm just going to pour a little bit on my paper plate here. And that's about all I need for if I'm going to use a stencil brush. Keeping in mind, you don't want your stencil brush to ever look like this. You want it to be straight up. We talk about loading our brushes. Loading your brush means loading your bristle brush with paint. Okay, I've loaded my brush. I'm going to take a little more. You offload on your hand. The worst thing for stenciling is having too much paint in your bristles. If you have too much paint, it's going to slide underneath your stencil, your design, and